Racing action on Tim's Corner Motorsports is presented by Pache Motors, the largest Ram truck dealer in Atlantic Canada. Browse their inventory online at pachemotors.com. Tranquility. Help for anxiety is only a click away. Learn more by visiting tranquility.app. Finish Line Vinyl Design, the official decal supplier of Tim's Corner Motorsports. Like them on Facebook at facebook.com/finishline vinyl design. And by CB Warren's Auto Care.
We've got sunshine on a cloudy day. Welcome back, everybody, to Vidane TV. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. coming at you live here on a Wednesday night. Very excited. Tim's Corner Motorsports, Highway 311, North River Market, Championship Night, the Championship 200 here at Oxford Plains Speedway. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., the producer here, pushing the buttons and making the things happen in front of your face. Kicking it over to the commentary booth with the tag team champions of Internet Racing, Dylan Langile and Mike James from The Rock. How we doing tonight, Dylan?
Well, let me tell you something, brother. It's championship night for the TCM Weekly iRACING series. And brothers and sisters, it's going to be real darn intense. Great to be back here again for round number 8 with my tag team partner over on The Rock, Mr. Mike James. How are you, sir?
Hey guys, I don't know if I can top the Macho Man, but it's champion night and it's Ashton Tucker's night to lose. He's pretty much got this unless something drastically happens. But it's the Highway 311 North River Market 200. It's the biggest race of the season. 200 laps are going to be on the board here at Oxford Plains. Super pumped to be with you guys.
Yeah, we're going to go with a freaking bang tonight. So again, 200 laps, but the same heat racing and hooligan racing format. We'll get that all ironed out as we get our drivers. I believe we got 28 answering the call tonight. And you mentioned it there, Mike. Ashton Tucker, he pretty much just has to finish last in qualifying, finish last in the races for him to basically lose this thing. But he did not have a very good week last time we were here at Oxford Plains Speedway. We're just rounding out some qualifying. If you're settling in here, we are going to make the top 8 go right to the big show tonight. 200 laps. The rest of the field will have to go through some heat racing and a last chance qualifier or 2, depending on how many people show up. Right now, Chris Roma, fastest car on the track, and Ashton Tucker is in the top 8. I believe good old Timmy Boy mentioned as long as he qualifies in the top 8, he's basically going to be locking up that qualifying award.
Yeah, no doubt. And there's a couple of guys going to be chasing him down tonight. Keith Daddy Mac, the Bud Light Machine, Keith MacLellan, 21 points behind him in the weekly series. And then there's also Brett Suggs out of North Carolina. He's about 22 points behind. And then Rational Richard Drake, the 141 machine, the Laker News is in contention here as well. Those top 4, but look at that. Chris Roma's on a mission tonight. He is the quickest one on the board, like you said, with a 14.63. Only 1/1000th of a second faster than 10 Woolridge. You got Roger Down, Chris Ewing, Keith MacLellan, Ryan Messer, John Fitzpatrick, and look at that, 8th, Ashton Tucker with 26 seconds left to go.
Yeah, things are getting tight here in Tangley and qualifying. And we're talking about Chris Roma himself along with Roger Down. Those are 2 drivers which could book their ticket to the TCM All-Star Showcase later this year before we get to real racing. All I got to do is have a really good finish tonight. And we're rounding up qualifying here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it looks like Chris Roma will be the pole sitter tonight for 200 laps. Tanton Woolridge 2nd, Roger Down 3rd, Chris Ewing 4th, Keith MacDaddy MacLellan, Mr. Perfect in 5th, Ryan Messer, John Fitzpatrick, and Ashton Tucker qualifies for 200 laps immediately. And that will lock him up for that qualifying contingency award. So there you go, a little extra money and some extra bonus points for Ashton Tucker. That's going to be very important tonight, Mike.
5 big points is going to go towards that championship title. But we're getting set for heat race number 1. And look at who's on the pole, the 141. He qualified 9th in the qualifier. He's going to get the pole on this one. It's Rational Richard Drake in the Laker News. He's going to have Cody Moorcraft on the outside in the 80 machine.
Craig Tully in the number 5, side-by-side with him in 4th will be Conrad Murphy in the 89 car.
Row number 3 to 38, Travis Roma. He's going to have the 17. Brad Hayes as his partner in crime on the outside.
Nick Pache in the 88 car starts 7th. Ryan Twinham 8th in the 8 car. Man, he's fast in these heat and LCQ races. He's bound to have a good finish, at least tonight, I'm sure of it.
We'll see what the 8 has for us, but complete the field, the 157, John Byron and Tony Wright to the outside in row number 5 in the 09. Johnny Byron just last week had that big 720 aerial, lots of freestyle points. He's collected on that big wreck. I would give him the biggest air award of the 2020-2021 season.
So just reading, I guess, through the comments here, Mike, it sounds like Brett Suggs' computer crashed. So that might not be a good thing. I think that's why we're maybe a little hesitant starting here. He was coming into second. Actually, yeah, Brett just commented on the Vidane TV stream. If you're watching that, thank you, Zen, for checking us out. Brett wrote RIP. So I don't know if that's essentially calling him out for tonight, and he'll have to watch here on Vidane TV, but that's a shame. Coming into tonight's races in 3rd in points.
Not only that, but he was up for the Clean Award, too. Brett Suggs, a gentleman, a scholar. Not a lot of contact throughout the whole season, and it would have been nice to see him win that award, but Ashton Tucker, top of the board for the clean hands. So a couple of drivers, Rational Richard Drake, up there for that award as well. So we'll see what transpires, but we are getting set to go racing. Lights are out, and it's going to be Rational Richard Drake in the 141. He will get the hammer as they come down the backstretch.
Brett Suggs wrote on the Vidane stream, it's terminal, Mike. So I think he's done. So that sucks, my friend. That really sucks. But we're going to go green flag racing anyways. Rational Richard Drake sees that green flag in the air. First heat race of the evening for the Highway 311 North River Market 200. Thanks again to our big buddy Terry Nelson for supporting iRacing all season long with the Halfway Award, which will still be a thing tonight as we're going 3 wide down into turn number 1. So it's a big night of racing, 200 laps, the longest race for these drivers. I would say the only other thing that would come close to it would have been the twin 75s, but even with that, we're adding almost 50 laps on top of that here tonight.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of outside moves, but Conrad Murphy almost made the outside line work. He looked like he was trying to pinch down Brad Hayes there, but he did manage to squeeze into the bottom here. Single file as he come around here. Richard Drake still your leader, just by a little bit here, but we're going to keep an eye on Travis Roma. I believe we're taking 3 for the main event.
Yep, top 3 are moving on from the heat races. That's always the same, no matter how big the field is. We'll have to get the old Tim Terry guy to come in here to let us know about the LCQ and how many drivers are going to be advancing to the 200-lap main event tonight. You can see Conrad Murphy already making some big moves to try and get to the top 3. A little further back from Moorcroft, but Murphy makes the big move, almost a crossover further back there, but he gets the position.
You know what? That's a beautiful move by Conrad Murphy. Brad Hayes, a difficult competitor to compete with. He is one of the top drivers in the league, but what a move by Conrad Murphy trying to come up through. But, you know, we're counting down the laps. 12 laps were put on the board, 5 to go here. Big gap between our front leaders here. The big question is, will Cody Moorcraft be able to get underneath Travis Roma for that position for the main event? You do not want to go to the LCQ, the last chance hooligan race, because you know what happens in those.
Yeah, they get pretty dicey. There's always crazy maneuvers, and a driver tries laying it all on the line to get that position they want to try and make the show, and it can be dangerous waters, as they say. Richard Drake in front of Craig Tully and Travis Roma, as mentioned, Moorcroft all over the back. In fact, Roma's starting to close in a little bit on Tully, so that could throw a little pressure on him. coming into tonight's races, if it appears, though, that Brett won't be racing, a lot of pressure off Keith MacLellan. Your top 2 in points, Ashton Tucker and Keith MacLellan. They're in the 200-lap main event tonight. They're sitting back and watching Richard Drake come around turn 3 and 4, getting ready to get the white flag.
Well, big position for the main event for Richard Drake. He is currently 4th in the points, so without Brett Suggs, he could get a podium on the season here, but and is still in contention. All depends on what happens in the 200-lapper. White silks in the sky for Richard Drake as he comes around. Checkers, no wreckers. It's going to be Craig Tully and Travis Roma. The top 3 going to go on to the main event, 200 laps. But give it up for Cody Moorcraft for putting lots of pressure on that 38 and not letting him out of his sights. But we're going to see Cody Moorcraft line up on the front row, I believe, in the LCQ.
Not a bad place to be if you have to be there. Thank you all again for checking us out tonight on Vidane TV and Tim's Corner Motorsports. Dylan Langell, Mikey James, and our good buddy Paul Strickland in the replay booth, and it's been fun doing all these races. Got to thank Jesse Thompson as well from Petty Raceway, hopping on here a couple of times when you couldn't be here or I couldn't be here, Mike. So it's all a big team effort and having some fun on Wednesday nights, and I'm sure we're going to get back to doing some full-time racing on iRacing in the coming weeks. I think we're going to take a little break, maybe a Daytona 500 break, but we got business to take care of tonight, including heat race number 2, and it looks like Jason Goss and Jake Goodwin are on the front row.
Dave Cassidy in the 13 will make up the inside of row number 2 with Wade Craswell in the 67 to the outside.
Daniel Vitch in the 29 car starting 5th, and Corey Hallett, 57 car starting 6th.
Row number 4 on the inside, Derek Gates in the 024. He'll have Mark Williams in the 42 to the outside.
The lone lady from the Rock, Chantel Pottle, starting 9th, and Joey Stiers in the 23 car. He is starting at the back end of this field.
How many ladies are out there watching tonight? If they're cheering for the 05, let us know. The Chantel Pottle fans out there. Jason Goss from Torbay, Newfoundland, one of the top runners here as well. So we'll see what they have for us as they get set here. 12 laps going to be on the board. Lights are out on the official pace truck here tonight. Jake Goodwin going to be strong here as well to the outside. Always a strong contender, but keep an eye on that 13, Dave Cassidy. He's a bit crafty. But pace car is out of the way. It's a yabba dabba doo. We're on green flag. It's Jason Goss shooting out of the cannon and getting a huge launch over Jake Goodwin. But look at that. They are now single filed as we got a couple in the back trying to get to the bottom here, but everybody single filed now with Chantel Pottle lagging way behind her.
The prelims for the main event tonight for the Highway 311 North River Market 200 at Oxford Plains Speedway. I see Brent Patterson chiming in on the TCM feed for this race. Thank you, pal. Watching from Harvey Station, New Brunswick, cheering on the hometown boy, the Godfather, Ryan Messer. He's already qualified his way into the big show tonight. And how about Jay Goodwin letting Dave Cassidy completely pass him there, Mike? I don't know what the motive is there, especially where the top 3 are moving on to the main show. I don't know if Jake let off on purpose or maybe a computer issue, but either way, he's now in 3rd, and he's got Wade Craswell approaching him in the 67 car.
I like the way he pushed off and let Cassidy go. I guess he felt a lot of pressure from Dave. This is open setups, so maybe Cassidy has a bit of a quicker machine, and Goodwin decided that, you know what, maybe I can just jump on the back bumper of Cassidy and try to get up to the leader here. But Wade Craswell is on the outside looking in, and I don't know if I'd want to be in the 3rd position because, you never know what's going to happen on the final lap, and you could end up being forced into an LCQ.
You don't want to be in the chopping block position for sure. As you can see, Jason Gossi is pulling away from Dave Cassidy and Goodwin. Further back, they're stacking up a little bit, not in the sense of wrecking. They're all just really close to each other. And you can see that is Derek Gates, Mark Williams, Joey Stiers, Hallett, Vitch, and Pottle at the back of the field. And the way it's looking with 5 laps to go, they will have to go to the LCQ to try and book their slot of the 200-lap main event tonight. That is going to be wild. I guarantee, Mike, there may have to be a pit stop mixed in there. 200 laps here at Oxford Plains.
100%. They get a full set. They get 1 set of tires, so they need to be smart with what they're going to do with those tires. Sometimes we see guys come down a little bit too early, and it might be a factor once we get close to the final 10 laps here. But big shout out to DC Auto Team out of Fort McMurray supporting Jason Goss in the 41. I'm sure they're watching all the way over there on the west coast of Alberta. Big thank you for all your support in the past, and we look forward to 2021 and Goss putting on a show here for the DC Auto Team. Cassidy is going to be looking good here with the final couple of laps coming down.
I guarantee it's freezing cold up in Fort Mac right now. White flag in the air for Jason Goss, Dave Cassidy, and Goodwin in third. So that gamble that Goodwin had letting Cassidy go around and will pay off as they'll pace around turn 3 and 4. Goss wins heat race number 2. Dave Cassidy and Jake Goodwin will also move on to the 200-lap main event tonight. Craswell, Gates, Williams, Stiers, Hallett, Vitch, and Pottle have to go to the Hooligan Way.
Yeah, and they're already getting set for that. Look at that. We are going to go straight into an LCQ, I believe.
Yeah, so So we'll get old Timmy Boy in here to let us know exactly what happened. What's happening, I should say. We already know what happened.
There he is.
Hi. Same thing I told you guys earlier tonight. One Consi race. We are taking the top 12 from this, I guess. 12.
2 people will go home.
Yep, that's what. By the way, we actually were just doing points down there when you guys pulled me up. Unofficially, and this is very unofficial, Ashton Tucker needs to finish 12th tonight to clinch the championship. That includes the 5 bonus points that he gets for winning the qualifying award. And there's an extra 5 points for the Clean Hands Award too, which he might be able to take as well. But unofficially, the clinch spot is 12th for Ashton Tucker in the future.
Okay, well, let's test your math. Where does Rational Richard Drake have to finish?
Well, he needs to win the race, and Ashton needs to have some bad luck. It's Keith that's currently second in points after qualifying.
That's correct.
Yeah, and Brett Suggs is having computer issues. We will give Brett last place points tonight. Because of the effort he's contacted us and said he couldn't make it and what have you. So we'll give Brett Suggs last place points on that. It sucks. It's going to take him out of the championship, but at least he's here. Let's roll with this last chance qualifier. 14 here. We are taking 12.
That's why we like you, Tim. He's got all the info.
Cody Moorcraft's going to get the hammer here. He's the 80 car. Wade Craswell to the outside, and Conrad Murphy to the inside of row 2, Derek Gates, Brad Hayes, Mark Williams, Nick Pache, Joey Stiers, Ryan Twinham, Corey Hallett, Tony Wright, Daniel Vitch, Johnny Byron, and Chantel Pottle. Sorry for jumping over you there, Dylan.
That's okay, man. We're having fun on a Wednesday night. Been good doing this stuff. Green flag about to fly in the air again. Moorcroft and Wade Craswell. What a start by the number 80 car. Dives right out in front. You heard Tim. You heard the man. Oh, he got cars sideways. One car at the top of the track already falling back to 14th, and they are slow like a slug. It looks like it's the 57 car of Hallett already back in 14th, and that along with 13th are the 2 positions which will not get you to the main event tonight. Top 12 advance. So we got to keep our eye on that 12th position as we go along in this race. It's going to get wild. You know it's going to get wild. Oh, yeah. It's getting wild already. Pottle spins out.
Chantel hit the curb there and lost a little bit of momentum, and we are still going to stay green, so this is going to throw her all the way to the back. But Cody Moorcraft, our leader in the 80 machine, you got to give it up for Cody, man. What a run he had in the heat race. Almost got into the main show through the hard way. Now he's got to go the even harder way in the LCQ, and he's doing a great job out front. But look at Conrad Murphy staying within contact of the 80 and within striking distance as we get close to the start of the 200-lap main event. It's champion night. 5 laps completed here for our final heat race qualifier, LCQ, whatever you want to call it, hooligan. Last chance for romance here. 2 people will be going home here tonight.
And they'll have to watch on Vidane TV for the rest to see how it all shakes out later on. Ashton Tucker and Keith MacLellan have already clinched their spot to make it into the 200-lap race. And we heard Tim Terry, Ashton Tucker just has to finish better than 12th, and it's his championship. And he had a very bad race last time we were here. I believe he finished near 20th. which really hurt his point total. Some notable drivers that will not be in the 200-lap main event tonight. We already heard Brett Suggs, his computer issues. Matthew Barkhouse, he's not racing this evening. So right now, it seems to be kind of a three-way dance for first, including Ashton Tucker, Keith MacLellan, and Rational Richard Drake. Rational Richard needs a really, really good night. I mean, you heard Tim, he's got to win pretty much, and he has to hope that the 30 and the 02 have the worst night of this championship.
Well, anything can happen. It's racing, even it's virtual, but in the simulator here. But just like at the tarmac, anything is possible. 80 machine of Cody Moorcraft, total control here as we get close to the halfway point for the final qualifier here, the last chance here. As now he's going to come up on some lap traffic on Chantel Pottle. The bottom two right now, Tony Wright, Chantel Pottle, are risking watching it from the TV here tonight.
Corey Hallett is in the 57 car, and he right now, is in the transfer position, the final one to get him into the Highway 311 North River Market 200 tonight. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. He's got a little bit of distance between himself and Tony Wright in that number 09 car. So Tony, you got to find some horsepower, brother, to try and put some pressure on him.
Well, that's past the cross flags here as our flagman threw up the cross. But Cody Moorcraft, Conrad Murphy, Brad Hayes, Nick Pache, and Joey Stiers, your top five here. But look at the gap. Cody Moorcraft almost getting a full second now. He's about 3/4 of a second now on Conrad Murphy. So building a bit of a bridge here and trying to take it home. But he's trying to get around Chantel Pottle. Pottle goes to the high side, lets the leaders go. So that's going to put her down one lap.
Now she's going to be on that inside lane, the very much preferred lane here at Oxford Plains Speedway. It's pretty much near impossible to try and make a pass on that outside lane, or the middle lane in this case, Mike. You're going to be going straight to the back. We have seen it with the full fields where if one driver starts on the outside, they cannot elbow their way down to the bottom. They're going all the way to the back here at Oxford.
One thing we haven't seen here tonight is cautions, and we've seen a lot of them in the heat race and LCQs in the past. So with 7 to go here, if this stays green, it's not going to be a good night for Tony Wright and Chantel Pottle. Cody Moorcraft dominating this LCQ, which will get him decent positioning in the 200. We talked about our top three for the championship tonight. Rational Richard took his win in his heat race, so he'll be starting closer to the front, but he'll have the two boys, Ashton Tucker and Keith MacLellan, a little bit further ahead of them as they were in the top 8 of the qualifier.
Unfortunately, Chantel Pottle's fate looks like it's pretty much done with about 5 laps to go. So great effort from the lone lady from the Rock, but she'll have to watch the rest of the race on Vidane TV. So we are keeping our eye on the score ticker with the number 57 car, Corey Hallett in 12th, last transfer spot. And we mentioned that Tony Wright's in 13th. That will not get you to the main event tonight. Right now, it's Moorcraft and Conrad Murphy, Brad Hayes, the top 3. Everyone else up until 12th will go to the 200-lap main event.
Well, Tony Wright has checked out. He is done. He is in the pits here now with 1 lap down. So there's still a possibility. Chantel Pottle, if a caution comes out here, she will get the lucky dog and she'll come around. But she really needs that caution right now.
She needs it bad, like a bad habit. She needs to show up real quick. I'd create
my own caution.
Well, that can. But the thing is, though, if you spin yourself out, it's up to the officials to throw that caution out. And in NASCAR, we've seen the occasional penalty, and I don't know, a team shut down because of someone intentionally spinning themselves out. But the white flag is out for Cody Moorcraft going down the backstretch here. He has now punched his ticket to championship night. He comes around turn 3 and 4. Just missed it in the heat, but he's got her here in the LCQ. Moorcraft wins the hooligan race for the Highway 311 North River Market 200.
Nice paint scheme on the 80 machine for Cody Moorcraft. He's going to be your winner here tonight. Like you said, winner, chicken dinner. Going to get some decently position for the main event here. But Conrad Murphy, Brad Hayes, Nick Pache, Joey Stiers, and the rest of the field except for Chantel Pottle will be in the big event tonight.
I don't know what is going on here with the computer world, but apparently Keith MacLellan is also having computer problems.
Oof.
Yeah, like
Mr. Perfect. Come on.
I don't. It's not such a perfect night for him. So man, Ashton Tucker may be getting it easy to maybe win this championship.
Well, the old rational Richard Drake might have something for him just yet, but a little warm-up before we get into the Highway 311 North River Market 200. It is championship night, and if you're just tuning in, let us know where you're watching from, if you're on the big TV or you're watching on your phones. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all the listeners out tonight. This has been a wonderful season here for the TCM. Oxford Plains, I heard a little hint that we may be going to a little bit down south for the next season.
Oh, yeah. I wonder where. I mean, there's so many great tracks we could go to. But yes, I got to say, ditto. It's been a really fun season. We've seen some great iRacing to kind of keep our minds off what's going on in the world and kind of getting us primed up for real racing season. NASCAR is starting in a couple of weeks here. A Daytona 500, that's always very exciting. So we're keeping racing alive here virtually. Got to thank Paul as well for everything he's done, running Vidane TV and having fun here on Wednesday nights or any other time. We got some fun events coming up here. And we're going to have ourselves a doozy tonight. I got a feeling it's going to be a bit tangly tonight, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, 100%. And you know what? What a way to get into the race season mood, because, you know, they sit NASCAR saying that it's going to be the biggest season of all time. Now, I don't know. There's been some pretty big seasons, but I think one of the big ones is Michael Jordan entered into sport.
Yep. Yeah, Pitbull, the singer's got a little stock in that new Trackhouse team. Dirt on Bristol. They're racing at Coda. They're racing at Coda, the Circuit of the Americas. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up. But before we get there, we got to wrap up business here. Welcome to the Highway 311 North River Market 200, the finale, the Tim's Corner Motorsports iRacing Series. Let's go through the starting lineup, and it's a little different front row than what we're used to seeing here at Oxford Plains Speedway. Chris Roma in the 83 has the pole. On his outside, young Tim Woolridge from Prince Edward Island.
And on the inside of row number 2, 21 of Roger Down. He'll have the 25 of Chris Ewing.
Now, he's not appearing right now, and I really hope that he's able to. Keith MacLellan, Mr. Perfect, having computer issues. He was second coming into tonight's race in the point standings. What a heartbreak it would be if he's not able to get in here. Ryan Messer lined up to start 6th, although it may become 5th real quick, and we actually got Tim in here. Tim, why are some of our competitors not entering here? What's going on with their computers?
Keith MacLellan has withdrawn from the race. We mentioned a little bit earlier on, Keith's been having some CPU issues with iRacing, updating everything. Technology gets old, and sometimes it's just like your real race car. The electronics and what have you don't want to work. So Keith has withdrawn his entry from the race tonight. He'll get obviously 26 place points. And we've got, I think, one that did not grid. We had a 2-minute happy hour, so maybe their fridge break might have went a little bit longer than it should.
Well, I'm sure if he's got computer issues, he's got them now because it's out the front door. In row number 4, John Fitzpatrick in the 78 from the island. He'll have Ashton Tucker looking for a championship here tonight on the outside of row number 4.
And again, Ashton Tucker just has to finish 12th, basically, and maybe even less than that with Keith MacLellan not racing tonight. Richard Drake starting 9th. He's basically the only other driver that can really contend for the championship. He better hope there's a horseshoe or two in that car. Jason Goss, Craig Tully, Dave Cassidy, Roma, Goodwin, Moorcroft, Murphy, Hayes, Pache, Stiers, Gates, Twinham, Williams, Byron, Craswell, Vitch, and Howard. That's all we're wrecking already. It looks like Ryan Messer turned around here at the start of the Highway 311 North River Market 200, and the early get-go of this 200 will be run under caution.
And a yabba yabba doo. That's going to bring out our friend Paul Strickland Jr. We haven't talked to him all night because we've been caution-free, but lap 1 has brought out that yellow. Welcome in, Paul Showtime Strickland and our friends from Raise Energy.
Oh, listen, you don't need to butter me up saving me here for the main event here tonight. I appreciate it, though. Looks like Chris Ewing here, the number 25 car. A lot of bumper tag there. We're gonna take another look at that because it was little bit of a tangly situation there. You can see the one throwback. I believe that's a Hallahan paint scheme running on the outside there, and a little bit of bumper car action there. You see John Fitzpatrick getting on the hammer a little bit early. Richard Drake down there as well, trying to kind of push their way up to the front. These drivers just anticipating the start, trying to get up towards the front here for championship night here at Oxford Plains. So doesn't look like there's too much damage on that car. You can see everything is still pretty much in a square position. So just going to be tough to have to restart from the 24th position here for Chris Ewing.
Where the heck is his number?
It shows that he's kind of number 1. Up towards the front, a little bit of a style. I mean, on timing and scoring, he showed his car number 25, so a little bit of a unique paint scheme there, unique number style. But still Chris Roma up front, going to restart with the lights still on in the pace car truck.
4 laps burned, Dylan. I hope this is not what the night's going to be, because we're going to have a lot of wrecked cars. So always interesting to watch the restarts here. Who's going to try to dip down to the bottom? Who's going to time it properly? Dan Woolridge, we haven't talked about him a lot all night, but what a season that 56 has had. Young gun coming up through the ranks. Man, oh man, the last 2 months, 60 days, I am super impressed with the 56.
He's a great driver in the Bandolera at the real track and here on iRacing. So how cool would it be to see him get a win tonight? And he very well could do that. He is still in second after little stack him up there on that start. But here's the thing too. It looks like there's no damage on the 0-2 of Ashton Tucker and Rational Richard Drake.
Well, the officials have opted to a single file restart here. To try to get a clean restart here. Not sure why, but I guess we wanted to run a clean race here tonight, and the 2 wide here at Oxford sometimes causes a bit of tangling.
Oh, just a bit of tangly?
Just a itsy bitsy.
Well, I've seen that once or twice. Sorry, Mike. I've seen that once or twice here with the TCM iRacing events. Just sometimes the double file just doesn't completely work. A driver that was already got a little tangly earlier is Ryan Messer, and he is already trying to move his way up to third, but I think there may have been a little contact between himself and another driver, and that may have just brought up the caution.
Well, Messer was down on the rear quarter there trying to make the pass on Richard Drake, so we're going to see a replay here to get the full picture here, but that's going to bring in Showtime one more time.
I guarantee it's not just one more time.
Yeah, well, time number 2 here in the first 10 laps. We're going to back up the Raise Energy Drink instant replay, find out what went down this time, bringing out the caution. Yeah, words and all that stuff. And it's trying to take a quick peek here.
The one
again?
One, Ryan Messer.
The other one. The other one.
The Godfather,
one.
Ryan Messer. We're going to pull up the Raise Energy Drink instant replay right off the restart. And there you can see Richard Drake behind him in the 141, the Laker News Machine. Shout out to them. And the possibly champ to be Ashton Tucker right up in the mix there with the number 2 car as well. But we'll see what happens throughout the night. And MacLellan and Brett Suggs both having computer issues here this evening. So tough break. And looks like we backed this up just a little bit too far. There you see the one dipping down, Roger Downs, trying to get on the low side. Clips the apron, there it is, and gets up into the quarter panel. The 21 sends him on around. So that's another thing that these drivers really need to pay attention to, is that bumper down in the bottom of the racetrack.
And did you notice that Richard Drake and Ashton Tucker barely avoided the number 1 car and the number 21 car spinning out?
Not really much room for error here at Oxford Plains Speedway. It's pretty much a one-groove track, and got to give a shout-out to Brett Suggs. Tough break tonight, having some computer issues. We do a post over on Vidane TV's Facebook page asking all the drivers, local drivers, to kind of post their shops where they can get T-shirts and hats and all that good stuff for the fans to pick up. It looks like Brett Suggs may need a hard drive or some kind of CPU or computer parts, so if you want to help out the 33 machine, shoot on over and pick up a koozie, some stickers, or some hats, or some good stuff like that from the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing LLC Facebook page. Got a pretty good shop. I actually bought a couple of things myself. Got some stickers and some koozies coming because I like me some ice cold beer, boys.
I thought you were literally just about to say, go buy a Brett Suggs hard drive. I was gonna be like, oh my gosh, come on.
Well, it's beer time. It's green flag action, and we're back green. They went too wide on that restart, and it's still Chris Roma. But look at Tanton Woolridge, like a fighter jet coming into the corner. He is a man on a mission tonight. But Ashton Tucker now moving into the top 4.
Young, hungry drivers here at Oxford Plains Speedway. Again, 200 laps tonight, all thanks to Highway 311 North River Market, just outside of Truro. Got to thank our good buddy Terry Nelson again for hopping on board, and he is still sponsoring the Halfway Award too. And that'll be easy to figure out tonight. That's at lap 100 because it's a 200-lap race.
And if you want to support racing, head on over to 311. I'm sure he's got some Valentine's stuff for your lady. But get over there and support those that support your hobby. Well, I don't know if you want to call it a hobby.
A living. Just a living.
Career.
It's a pretty single file on the early get-go here on lap number 18. You can see the essentially top 2 in points at this rate with the number 33 and the 30, Brett Suggs and Keith MacLellan not in here tonight because of computer issues. You don't think there's like some conspiracy, like, you know, like the NWO and WCW, like they did something to those guys' computers? You don't think something like that happened, did you?
I don't know. I don't know that Patrick fellow too well from Laker News, but do you think he sabotaged to make sure the 141 got in here? No, he would never do that.
My video is stopped. I think my computer's now hitting the fritz now too. I think I'm there now. Everyone's having computer issues tonight.
Well, lots of single file action here with 22 gone. Still plenty of time, Dylan, but this is going to be a wild night to try to factor in a pit stop, whether it's going to happen under green flag or under a caution. You don't want to be the one that goes too early here on this one, but you know, we've seen in the past where our leaders have stayed out all the way to the end and almost ran out of fuel. We've actually had a couple that ran out of fuel on the last lap, so I'm sure these guys got some assistance here tonight, crew chiefs and spotters assisting them, especially the leaders here, and you know, you do not want to go down on lap 199 because of fuel.
I'm thinking because it is a smaller track, maybe the fuel will be okay, but maybe not. Again, and this is the longest race that we're dealing with here with the TCM Weekly Racing Series. We weren't really told a pit window like we had with the Jim Hallahan 333, and I just don't have enough experience with the iRacing on this track to kind of really see and feel what that would be for these drivers. But right now it is Chris Roma, Tanton Woolridge, and Rational Richard Drake in first, second, and third.
Just a little tidbit of information that I didn't know till this week, but there on Monday night at the big race, one of the Roma boys was telling me under caution to conserve fuel, they were shutting off the cars. So just like in real life, you can conserve fuel under these cautions, so that could play a factor here tonight, trying to save a bit of fuel for the end.
Sometimes you just got to conserve those things and kind of know what you got to do in this race. Do you really push the envelope early on to get up at the front, or do you kind of hang back and see how everything works? Tough thing is on a small track like this, and how iRacing, I find the wrecks can be a bit bigger compared to real racing. What happens if there's a giant wreck in front of you and you can't avoid it? Your day could be completely done.
Well, that's the kicker here at Oxford, because that caution with Ryan Messer and Roger Downs, Messer really had nowhere to go because of that lip on the inside here at Oxford. He couldn't really jump to the infield or to the inside lane because it was basically that or destroy himself. But, you know, basically he had nowhere to go.
Top four all pretty close together. You can see Craig Tully now, the number 5 car, starting to close in with Jason Goss right on his rear. So the top 6 are really getting close together. And there's a move now from Tanton Woolridge trying to sneak under Chris Roma. Gives him a little shot to the bumper. 56 all over the back of the number 38 car. 83, pardon me.
Well, Woolridge obviously put the time in on the setup here, as that is a little bit of a quicker machine than the 83. And he is not being shy at this point. You've seen the boot to the back bumper just to tell him that I'm here, and looking for a little bit of a bump at the right time to push the 83 up just a little bit. Not aggressively, but almost like a gentleman.
You don't want to do it too early, only on lap number 34, because then there's quite a bit of race left for the driver to give you another receipt. That's the thing. If you move someone, you're going to have to expect it back, especially early on. But Tanton seems to be a pretty well-reserved driver. We are going to be coming up with some slower cars soon enough, which could make things a little interesting. Richard Drake sitting pretty in 3rd, Ashton Tucker in 4th, and there again is the 56 kind of letting off a little earlier, it seems like, in turn 1 and 2 to see if he can get a really big run on the 83 car, and again, just nose to tail again for the top 4.
Someone we haven't talked about a lot tonight. Look at that. Jason Goss and Craig Tully in the top 6. Both machines looking slick here tonight. Taking a peek at the 41 machine of Jason Goss and Craig Tully. Looking pretty good here tonight, staying with the leaders.
Goss trying to look underneath the number 5 car, Craig Tully, so 5th in 5th. Top 5, Chris Roma, Tanton Woolridge, Rational Richard Drake, Ashton Tucker, Craig Tully, with Jason Goss not far behind. There's Ashton Tucker trying to make a little bit of a move there on Rational Richard Drake. At this point, Ashton Tucker just needs to have a little Wednesday cruise. There's no need to push the envelope. This championship is all but his, even with Rational Richard Drake directly in front of him. Richard needs to win, and Ashton needs to have a really, really bad night.
Well, I'm sure Ashton Tucker's on pins and needles here tonight. The big championship on the line. I'm sure he wants to get past these 3 cars to get some clean air, or he may want to conserve a little bit for the tail of this race. A lot of these guys that are going to be pushing hard is going to cause a lot of tire wear here, and may be a big factor on pit road.
Another thing you have to keep in mind, too, there will be the Clean Hands Award, which is given to the driver who has the lowest average point total for their contact. I can't seem to find the right word I'm looking for there. The points that build up whenever you hit someone with iRacing, they kind of accumulate. So right now, Ashton Tucker has the lowest average. So he's at the top of pretty much everything coming into tonight's racing, Mike. Incident points. It was on the tip of my tongue. So he's the lowest average incident points.
I think a little burp was in your ear.
No, I did not hear. Totally did not hear Paul say that.
Liar. Well, everybody is calm and composed here. With 45 gone, we're getting close to the quarter mark. Let's take some bets. When do you think you're going to see some pit activity, Dylan?
I am not 100% sure. You know what? I'm going to throw it to our professional analyst, Paul Strickland, because he knows iRacing a little bit more than you and I think, and how these cars act. Paul, will there be any pit stops with the 200-lap race, do you figure?
I definitely think we're going to see some pit stops. We may very well see some green flag pit stops here as well. As a driver, and not a very good driver, but as a driver, I would probably split this race right in half, knowing the tire is going to be a factor later on. Fuel is more than likely going to be an issue. So I would probably come down right around lap 100, split this race right in half. That way you know exactly what the car is going to do at the end of a long green flag run. So I'm going to say we're going to start seeing some pit stops right around lap 100. But we'll see what happens with some of these drivers, and we'll see where the cautions fall.
Where's your Larry Mack accent?
I left that in the box.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for your expert input there. So you heard the man about 100 laps. That's where the marker is going to be. We're at the quarter mark here for the Highway 311 North River Market 200. And so far, it's been the Roma show in front top 5 really hasn't moved a whole lot, except for Roger Down and Ryan Messer getting the boot ski a little earlier. Speaking of boot ski, it looked like the 56 giving a little tap with the boot to the number 83 car right in front of him. Richard Drake again staying content in third. They've already had to swerve to move out of the way of a few cars. I'm sure they don't want to keep doing that tonight.
No, sir. And, we've seen in the past leaders having troubles coming through the lap traffic here at Oxford. Being a one lane here, we're not seeing a lot of grip. It's starting to work its way up into the middle group, but still, it's a one lane racetrack. And, when you start coming up on lap traffic, sometimes the bad news comes down for the driver.
53 laps led for Chris Roma in the 83. He's had some solid top 10 runs. He just hasn't been that driver consistently at the front of the field. It's always been the usual suspects of an Ashton Tucker or a Matthew Barkhouse or a Richard Drake or Brett Suggs, Keith MacLellan, those kind of gamut of drivers. But tonight we're seeing a little difference there with the number 83 and the 56 at the front of the field. They were at the top of the board early on, and they're staying there right now.
The 83, Chris Roma and Travis Roma, both part of the RBR series. Travis Roma, his brother, the 38, is in 7th position right now, but within striking distance. Travis Roma now is right behind Craig Tully. We were looking at them earlier on. Jason Goss did manage to get past the 5 machine of Craig Tully, now in the top 5. But those RBR boys, that includes Brett Suggs. So a lot of laps for those guys, and a lot of time put into the setups. But you just seen the 56 apply lots of pressure. Another big tap to the back bumper. I think the 56 is getting impatient here, as he knows he's got a quick car, and Roma is not giving up the bottom here. But you're seeing the 83 drift up a little bit coming out of the corners here, opening the door for the 56, but just not able to capitalize right here.
Thing two, if you give up that bottom lane, as now Richard Drake gives a little business to the back of the 56 car. You give up the bottom, you're going straight to the back. I guarantee it very, very soon. Chris Roma is coming up to a slower car. You can see Richard Drake already starting to peer under, hold on to something. This could get a little dicey. And, oh, never mind. We got a caution on track to kind of calm things down a bit. We'll have to see exactly what happened, but caution out on lap number 60.
That's going to bring in Showtime one more time. Paul Strickland Jr. and Raise Energy for a replay.
Showtime all the time here at Vidane TV. And we're just
You sure you're not a stripper?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, you could pay me to keep my clothes on. We'd be down with that. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. But we're taking a look.
Vidane TV!
Vidane TV! Looks like Conrad Murphy getting himself in a little bit of a troubled situation. We're going to take a look at the Vidane TV blimp, because we can totally afford one of those. Gets up on those bumpers again and slows himself down. The one car gets right in the back of him. There you see John Fitzpatrick giving him a little bit of a push, as well as I believe it was a 50 machine. I might be completely wrong on that, but sent him on around. No big damage. Good thing there's no pit walls or anything like that here at Oxford Plains, so no major damage. Just gonna have to restart tail end of the lead lap, it looks like.
Looked like a bit of a cause from that lip. The 89 taking a crack from that inside lip there, the curb, just enough to get the guys from behind to get up to the back of them. So that is one of the most hardest things about Oxford. Not only is it close to not a high bank track, but single groove, and then you got that bloody curb on the inside.
Looking at the fastest lap time so far in the Highway 311 North River Market 200, Cody Moorcroft has the fastest lap time. He's in 10th right now. He made this race via the Hooligan LCQ, so we're seeing he's got some speed further back on there. So we're not even close to being halfway with this race. I wouldn't count out the 80 car quite yet, unless there's a big pileup somewhere in this race.
Well, he looked sharp in the heat race. You know, it was just because of positioning and where he started the heat race, and the rest of him being dominant. But he totally took over that LCQ. As we get back to green, Chris Roma. But look at this. Ashton Tucker stuck to the outside, but he will tuck in. Travis Roma trying to peek in. but will he get there? And he does, right in front of Craig Tully. That's going to back him up behind him, almost into the big one here behind Craig Tully.
Oh, use those brakes, boys. Use them brakes. We are seeing the 5 and the number 24 fall back a little bit there. Tully's on the outside, an example of what we were saying earlier. You go to that outside lane, you're going straight to the bag. He went from about 5th, now going towards 10th there, and that's not the towards you want to be at. You want to be going forward, not going backwards. As you can see, Ryan Messer, that's another driver. He's had a hard time so far trying to charge back through the field along with Roger Down. They were door handle to door handle with Brad Hayes in the 17, doing a little body check and working their way up through the front there. And you can still see the 17 struggling to try and get any position they can. Now they fall in line. And a driver I was just talking about, Cody Moorcroft, he's on the outside too.
Yeah, these restarts are difficult. Brad Hayes finally gets in, but from 9th back, it was a battle. It was almost like a mosh pit, but Moorcroft is still on the outside, trying to get it, and all the way outside, gets a little loose, almost out to the outfield. He almost went way back.
But he's not gone. He's still inside the park for now.
Infield pop fly.
It's looking like it. He is pop flying all the way to the back right now.
Man, oh man, these restarts. Look at that. Daniel Vitch to the outside of the 57. If you get snagged, it could be 10 spots.
Just trying to look at the scoring ticker to see how far Moorcroft fell. He went from 10th to 21st there. That just shows how dangerous that outside line can be.
Man, 11 spots for Cody Moorcroft. But, you know, still lots of laps to go here. About 128 to go, 127 to go here. And, you know, once the pit becomes part of the equation here, you're going to see some of those guys to the back try to gamble and come up to the front.
And I'm wondering, Mike, with the cautions, how will that help their fuel strategy and conserving tires? Up front, it's been a freight train for the most part. There hasn't been a ton of action. There's been a little bit of bumper play here and there as, again, the top 5. Top 7, you can really call it. Throw a blanket over them. They're completely covered. Lap 75 coming up here at the Highway 311 North River Market 200. And so far, all 75 have been led by Chris Roma. Tam Woolridge again, putting all pressure he can on the 83, 38 car's not further back, though, from the number 56 car. Roma's got a whole lot of Woolridge in his mirror. And now another caution out to mix things up.
Well, that's almost to the tail. It's going to be Comrade Murphy and Chris Ewing who are on pit road, but that's going to bring in Showtime Paul Strickland. They'll give us a little Back to the Future peek. Oh, nice.
Yeah, another Raise Energy Drink Instant Replay. Looks like a couple of repeat offenders here for the, I want to say it's the 3rd or 4th caution. We'll have to double check on the timing and scoring, but looks like another incident here with Conrad Murphy and the one machine of Chris Ewing as well. We'll give it to you from the blimp. Take a look at the 89 and the one machine right behind the 67 of Wade Craswell. One dips down, tries to get low on Conrad Murphy, trying to get that same piece of real estate. There you see Moorcroft, the 80, getting his way around, and a couple of drivers just kind of crashed right up underneath the flag man, and there you can see he's going to throw out that yellow flag. So wasn't a big hit for the 89, wasn't a big hit for the one car, but still a hit nonetheless, and that's going to cause those guys to have to start back in the back of the pack.
We're already seeing some guys on pit road. Ryan Messer has opted to go down, as well as Craig Tully on this one. Craig Tully and Ryan Messer are on pit road right now on lap 79. Is it too early? I think if it was up to me, I'd probably want to stretch it to 130.
130?
Yeah, we've seen these guys go 150 here at Oxford on fuel. Yeah. I'm sure this is not going to be the final caution here. And if you can get on a couple of these cars down a lap, it could be to your advantage.
We really haven't seen lapped cars be a huge deal. And by that I mean we haven't seen the whole field get lapped nearly. It's been very rare, as we always seem to have a caution every 20-ish laps. That's kind of been the trend here with TCM iRACING Weekly Racing Series. Easy enough for me to say, but it's round number 8 championship night. We started this back at the end of November, and it's been pretty fun as we go towards the end of January, hard to believe. But tonight we are going to crown a champion. They are going to get some extra cash. I believe almost near $200 there, Mike. That would buy a couple cases of beer.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I believe Ashton Tucker is going to pick up $151 if he takes the championship here tonight, plus. And there's cash for the $200. So these guys doing quite well in the off season with a bit of extra cash. Not a lot of damage on the race car because we're in the virtual world, so not a lot of heavy bills besides the simulator in the garage.
Well, unless you have a hard drive conk out on you or a CPU, that seems to be the other problem. Yeah, those can be. They ain't cheap. So it sucks that Brett Suggs and Mr. Perfect, Keith MacLellan, couldn't be here tonight for computer issues. Just like we see at the real racetracks, sometimes with race cars, they have a tech snafu or an engine component break. How many times has a car rolled up at the pits and realized, oh, something's not working, and they don't race at all? We saw it virtually tonight. Green flag is back out for Chris Rome in the 83 star-studded performance from him. But Tam Woolridge, he's been faster lap time-wise. And there's Ashton Tucker. He's on the outside, boys. That's not good for the number 2. He's got to try and settle in here. He does between the 41 and the 24.
Rome is stuck to the outside next to Roger Down as we got a couple on the outside here, but there is gappage for them to tuck in. They need to be smart here and not try to stay out, even if you lose a couple of spots, but you don't want the second field to come up and close the door on you. But now everybody getting a little bit comfortable there now, single file until we get back to about the 14th, 15th position, but still some too wide action to the tail.
Ashton Tucker needs to finish better than 12th to book his championship ticket to take home the virtual trophy. I don't know if there's an actual real trophy or not for this series. It'd be kind of funny if there wasn't, like it's virtual because it's all on the internet, right?
You get one in your email.
You gotta save it as a PDF.
Yeah, your desktop.
Hey, you know what? That's something you could show off the family and say, hey, you know what? I won the TCM iRACING Weekly Racing Series, and I got her done. And look, it's on my desktop.
I think we just started something.
Tell Timmy.
Just a note here on Tam Woolridge. On that restart, he almost timed it properly, but had to come off the fuel just a little bit, checked out, but managed to squeeze. But I believe Rational Richard did not want to take the risk of the 56, knowing that he was going to come down to the bottom. I think he opened the door just slightly to allow the 56 in.
Coming up to lap number 90, and that is longer than most of the weekly racing series events. 200 laps tonight. We are approaching the halfway point in 10 laps, and that will be for the Highway 311 North River Market Halfway Award. And as it sits right now, it looks like it's going to either go to the 83 or the 56. But who knows? They could bump into each other at lap 98 and take each other out. Stanton Woolridge is getting hungry. You can tell he really wants to try and pounce on that 83 car.
Well, the halfway award's going to be coming up in 9 laps, so it's been a cash on the line for the 56, and he's been dominating here all night. He's been the quicker car, but Chris Roma is just not wanting to give up the lead here. And he's doing a great job by, he's not blocking or anything, he's just holding the groove here, and, you know, it's forcing the 56 to either give him the bumper or try the outside, which you know is going to be difficult here at Oxford.
Thing 2, incident cap points. I believe it's around 41.
Oh,
and look out! And Woolridge ran in the back of the 80. Oh no! 41, 141. Richard Drake turned around, causing a little bit of a pileup, and Ashton Tucker avoids it.
We are still green.
I don't know, but they all managed to keep her straight after being completely crooked in the corner. But Ashton Tucker drove around that, and he avoided disaster. But disaster is struck for Richard Drake. He has fallen back after, I think maybe the 56 ran in the 83, and then it was a little stutter step where then the 141 hit the 56, and that caused a little domino effect here at Oxford.
Man, oh man. I don't know if Rational Richard Drake did some dirt track racing in his career, but dude, what a save. That was unbelievable. I thought they were going to stack up behind him. Roger Down was almost into the door of the 141, and he just managed to squeeze it in there, but not a lot of damage here for Rational Richard Drake as he falls back to the 8th position. He's got Jake Goodwin, Travis Roma, Jason Goss, and John Fitzpatrick, who we haven't talked about a lot. Fitzpatrick finds himself in the top 4 here.
Well, Johnny's always a guy who seems to linger back further in the field, and like a snake, he just kind of slides his way to the top. You can see again, I can see at the top of the corner, Tanton Woolridge all over the back of Chris Roma again. We're coming up to the halfway point here. One more to go before that halfway award really strikes up. Little chance of extra money for these drivers, and Ashton Tucker is now in third. We are on board with Tanton Woolridge, young Bando driver from Prince Edward Island, and it looks like unless he gives a last desperation attempt to try and bump the 83, the halfway award will go to Chris Roma. Beside the money, I don't see the point of really roughing up a driver halfway through. 100 in the books, 100 left in the Highway 311 North River Market, 200. Now call it 99 to go.
Well, you got to give it up for the 56. He's checking up a little bit here. It's got to be frustrating for the young gun. All 100 laps Roma has led, 102 now. But Tam Woolridge has been, checking up quite often behind him, almost getting into the back bumper of him, wanting that position really bad. But working, he's probably one of the hardest working drivers right now on the track to take that position. But, that's a skill that you got to get here at Oxford. It is difficult to pass here. You don't want to wreck the guy in front of you, but you kind of got to give him a slight smudge. And you got to hit him at the right time in the corner to manage to open the door so that he can come up higher in the apex and then drop to the bottom and attack like a shark.
Well, it's either bump the person in front of you or hope there's another restart and you get a really good shot at getting to the bottom. It's almost near impossible to do anything on the outside. And you don't want to dive too deep in the corner. You don't want to completely wreck your opponent. You want to maybe give them a little love tap and rattle their cage a little bit, to quote Dale Earnhardt, although Dale would full-on turn people back in the day. We don't want to see that, and that would basically give you a little penalty. And here comes the 56 underneath. Oh, he tapped him. He rattled his cage like Earnhardt. He shoves Roma up the track. Roma's in the outfield.
Now the caution's going to come out. It is only a single incident, but I got a funny feeling Woolridge might be coming to the
I think there's going to be a no-fall. I think there's going to be a no-fall caution.
Well, here at TCM, the driver does have the option to claim it so that the other driver does not go to the rear of the field. So if Tanton does raise the hand and be a gentleman here, it could be just Tanton going to the rear. Who knows? We'll find out. Let's go bring in a Fred Paul.
Yeah, taking a look at the replay right now. Roma up front. There you can see Tanton Woolridge gets into the back bumper, coming out of the corner. And as they come around, they kind of apex a little bit. And a little bit of overcorrection there from Roma after getting the boot ski from the Tanton Woolridge machine. Sends him off into the dirt. Didn't hit anything, no damage. But gonna be curious to see where the race officials reset these two cars.
Oh, well, it's 1:08, and it's pit road time. Roger Down, Mark Williams, Ashton Tucker, Rational Richard, Jason Goss, Corey Hallett, John Byron, Brad Hayes, Travis Roma, Cody Moorcraft, Nick Pache down on pit road. It was 1:09.
Mm-hmm.
I was close.
Well, it was a prime opportunity, really.
Jake Goodwin now entering pit road. Well, if the caution didn't come out, we could have got to 1:30.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
So a big, you know what I'm saying? Big change of events if you just tuned in to the Highway 311 North River Market 200. Contact between your leaders, the 56 and the 83, has brought out, I believe, the 6th or the 5th caution. Either way, we are under the yellow flag, and it looks like Johnny Fitzpatrick, who I think has been on the pit road, because he did have a little bit of damage on that number 78 car. We'll get an official look here. No, okay, so he hasn't. But Ryan Messer has been on pit road. So that could be the big thing here, that Ryan already got fuel in his car or has newer tires on that number 1 machine.
And that could bring in our expert, Showtime Paul. He should be able to tell us when Ryan Messer reported to pit road. I believe it was that early caution.
I believe you're right. Ryan Messer, the 1 car stint 33 laps ago is when he came down pit road. So 30-lap tires on that number 1 machine, that may do it. That's going to put you right around 120 laps. That's almost 130.
Hey, I'll tell you, I'm a mathematician.
There's a lot of drivers here that did not go to pit road, including the 78, along with Ryan Twinham and Derek Gates. So those are some of the drivers taking the gamble here. I don't know if they've been conserving stuff or they figure, hey, you know what, there could be another caution or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 that will keep you up there the entire time. But just we are already slamming into each other. I was going to say, just like the Cars song, Shake It Up, things have been shooken here at Oxford Plains. Greenback in the air for the number 78 car, and it's going to be a hornet's nest further back.
Well, Craswell gave the bootski to Ryan Twinham there on that restart. A bit of a checkup there for Ryan Twinham. Didn't gauge when Fitzpatrick was going to go. But it's Ryan Messer who's got a bunch of wins here this season and is one to contend with. He is a fighter jet on the back bumper of the 78 of Johnny Fitzpatrick. So it's going to be a wild one here tonight as it's championship night. But checking in on Ashton Tucker. Tucker is actually in 9th, still in the top 10, as he's got a wall of Tully and the Cassidy in the 13th.
This is where you got to be really careful. If you are Ashton Tucker, you got to watch out and watch all around you at this point, because you have the number 13 car of Dave Cassidy right next to you now falling back. There's Rational Richard Drake right behind the number 2 effectively, and essentially they are 1 and 2 in points with Brett Suggs and Keith MacLellan not in the racing tonight, and they're settled in the top 10, and that would basically clinch the championship for young Tucker in the number 2.
And I highly doubt you'll see the 141 bracket 2. Just what I know of Rational Richard Drake, so I don't think we'll see that. But this is a bit of a separation right now. Ryan Messer and Ryan Twinham now about 2nd and a quarter ahead of Derek Gates, so we got a bit of a pack separation. Twinham just kind of sizing everything up. Messer on a full attack right now on the 78 as he half cars, tries to get to the quarter here within a millimeter of that inside curb. He's looking for every piece of property here to try to get around the 78, and you know he's probably a little bit quicker with the fresh tires.
Shots. Everybody, there were so many shots there in the back of the 78 car from Ryan Messer. I don't know how he actually hung on to that thing. Ryan definitely has the better car and the fresher tires, as we know, with only 40 laps on those fresh sets on that number 1 car. Maybe it's a time to really conserve, or do you try and really get away from the field? Right now it is John Fitzpatrick and Ryan Messer in the top 2. And how about Ryan Twinham? That was a guy I said maybe keep your eye on there, as he is in 3rd. He doesn't have a pit stop under that number 8 car yet, but if there's a few cautions, it may be able to keep him up in the front for a bit, and he may be in conservation mode, trying to see what happens between the number 1 car and the number 78 in front of him.
Well, Ashton Tucker and Rational Richard Drake is starting to check out and hard charging to the front. Tucker now finds himself in 5th place with Rational Richard Drake in 6th. The leaders for this championship, tandem together, tag team coming up through the field.
It's kind of like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels being a tag team back in the day. Not necessarily the best of friends. Also, they probably get along, but points-wise, you know that you would love to see the 141 go to the front. I know he really wants to, but he doesn't want to race dirty, though. He's not a dirty driver. He wants to win it fair and square.
Oh, so dirty. Tully is causing a little bit of a headache for our championship winners here, or those that will win tonight. But Tully, been a strong contender here tonight. Been in the top 5 a couple of times here, but he may let him go here as he slides up the track. And here comes Tucker to the bottom. Tully being a bit of a gentleman, but we have caution out on lap 127. Not sure where it happened as we were chasing our champions here tonight. Maybe Paul could help us out.
Definitely a possibility.
Maybe.
It's easier to talk on these microphones
Ryan Messer.
when the buttons don't get muted. But we'll pull up the Raise Energy Drink instant replay. It looks like something may have happened a little bit to Ryan Messer. Hit those piles there, Mike. But
Poop piles.
the boot piles right up in the bumper of the 78.
Man,
almost gets him around. He jumps down low to try and save the 78 car. Almost flips, hitting that dirt pile there, holding up the lantern, the light there, the light post rather. But still gathers it back up, points it in the right direction. Not a big hit. Gonna put him mid-pack though. That's gonna be tough to come back from.
Look at that. Johnny Fitzpatrick goes down pit road on lap 130. Just saying. Could be the winner tonight. Could be the winner tonight.
So Ryan Twinham is going to try his luck and stay out for the time being. I don't know if he knows something we don't, boys. I don't know if he really knows how much fuel is left in that car, how the tires are holding up. I got to imagine those tires have to be scorching at this point.
Well, we've seen 150 here at Oxford, and they've gone the distance. But after 150, it goes out the door, I think. So I think eventually we're going to see Ryan Twinham down pit road. Going to have to forgive the lead here, but he's going to have some hard chargers. Is Ashton Tucker, Rational, Richard Drake, Craig Tully with some fresher tires. Row number 2, Ashton Tucker on the inside is a bit of a nice break there. But Richard Drake, is going to be hard chargers to the outside, right behind Tully.
Thing too is that what does he have to lose? He's nowhere near in contention to win the championship. Hasn't really had the best results in the feature races. Why not try and stay out and see what can exactly happen? He'll have the preferred line on the inside. He's got a very fast Ashton Tucker right behind him. That's the only thing I'm a little worried about, is what if the 8 doesn't fire off in all cylinders right away? Will it stack up the field with those older tires?
Well, we will find out as we go back. Green. Here comes Twinham, and look at that. Tully is going to be looking to try to get to the bottom, but Ashton Tucker gets to the bumper and is going to close the door. Will Tully get to the bottom? He does, but look, Mark Williams coming up almost into the back bumper, and it's going to be a while back there in 5th, 6th, and look, Laker News. Rational Richard Drake is stuck to the outside, and he's going to fall back quite a bit here as long as he continues to hang out to the outside.
And I don't think there's going to be any drivers too friendly to let him in right away. You're in the top 10. You want to try and hold your position. Why would you let someone else get in front of you? Richard Drake's going to have his hands full to try and get on that bottom as he tries to really squeeze in between himself and the 17 and the number 24 car. He's not able to do it there. Can he do it now? A little bit of gap between himself and the number 24 car. Now he does. Richard Drake falls back far again on these restarts. Ryan Twinham is still in front through the pit cycles. He has not made a trip down to pit road. Ashton Tucker is in second. We got a big pileup. It looks like a few cars all stuck together in turn 4, but they do keep it straight though. No caution on the track.
Travis Roma now hard charging, now outside, on the inside, my apologies, as he tries to come up to the field, but he's all the way to the rear of the field in 24th position, so he's down 2 laps here tonight, so down 4 laps, Travis Roma. So we have 19 cars on the lead lap. Daniel Vitch is the last car on the lead lap. Jason Goss would receive the lucky dog in 20th position if the caution comes out. We're checking in on the 41, down a lap. He was having a strong run, but might have been stuck on pit road for a little bit longer than he wanted to.
I noticed earlier that Travis Roma was really slow on the bottom. You can see now the 41 car goes all the way up the track, able to crank her down real quick as we're scattering all over the place, trying to gain as many positions as we can, because the top 12 pay for points. As you can see, a nice shot there to the back, and we have a new leader, Ryan Twinham, about to make the pit stop. He has completely left the top 5, and now it's Ashton Tucker, your point leader, in front with Tully, and there is the number 8 car, Twinham. Looks like the pit crew having a smoke break or something, not really doing anything, but I know they are doing something, the invisible pit crew. But Ashton Tucker grabs the lead with about 60 laps to go. Call it 57 now as we cross over for lap 143.
I think his pit crew was talking about their Tinder date from last night. So
you see the Leafs win last night?
The 8. The Leafs, Tinder, I don't know what they were talking about, but it obviously wasn't the 8 car. But Ashton Tucker's got lots of clean air here now and is now about to check out into a different area code as he builds a bit of a gap now. 0.6 of a second on Craig Tully. Mark Williams doing a grand job in the top 3. Brad Hayes, the 17, entering the picture. But Jake Goodwin, who did not want to open the door for Rational Richard Drake, it finds himself in the top 5. And there is the 141 of Laker News in 6th position. He is your second place contender for the championship here tonight as we get close to the 3/4 mark. 145 gone, 4 to go here to the 3/4 mark.
Craig Tully has a lot of front-end damage. It's almost like the opposite of a Toyota Supra. It is pushed in completely on that nose, but hey, it's short track racing. You don't exactly need the most aerodynamic car. You just need fresh tires, and you need a good engine under the hood, and a good driver behind the wheel as well. How about Mark Williams in the 42? That's another driver who's been stuck in a lot of the LCQ and heat races in these big TCM Weekly Racing Series events. Right now, he is in 3rd. Solid run for him. And Brad Hayes in the 17 as well. These are drivers we don't normally see at the front of the field. Last chance for romance for the championship and to get some TV time here on Vidane TV.
Well, Brad Hayes, Jake Goodwin have done some big runs over the season. But look at this. The 141 got into the rear quarter of the 24. It's going to stay still green. Rational Richard drives him into Cody Moorcraft. Man, oh man, it still stays green here as we get close to the 3/4 mark. 150 laps go, 50 to go. Rational Richard Drake having some issues here.
That was a Macho Man top rope elbow from the 141 car. That was intense. So we are 3/4 of the way through the Highway 311 North River Market 200 of the Oxford Plains Speedway. 8th and final race for this weekly racing series at the virtual Oxford Plains Speedway, and it's the Ashton Tucker Show again. Little late performance, but right now he is in the magic seat to win and to win the championship.
Let's talk about hard chargers. Here comes the 56 and Tam Woolridge, who went all the way to the rear of the field. He was down pit road 23 laps. He is got the freshest of the freshest compared to the rest of the field in front of him. Woolridge is on a charge here behind Jake Goodwin in the 24 machine, but keep an eye on that 56. He wants it more than anybody here. Caution comes out on lap 153.
So that's going to help him. That's going to help him get closer to the front.
I don't like starting on the outside, though. He will follow and roll forward to the outside, but it's almost like winning the lottery. You kind of want to get to the bottom here. But we're going to see what happened here on lap 154. That's going to bring in our good friend, Showtime, Paul Strickland.
Brings me back in for another Raise Energy Drink Instant Replay, and we'll see if we can pull up where that caution came out. Looks like another repeat contender, Ryan Messer, the Godfather there on the number 1 car, getting a little bit crossed up. We're going to pull it up from the blimp, and you can take a peek there. You can see him down on the low side, and the 024 seems to be off the pace, or at least stuck on the outside. And the 13 car comes by, no harm, no foul. And there you see the 1 car trying to come up. The 024 spotter must have told him that he was clear, came down just a little bit, but wasn't a big hit, wasn't a hard hit, no damage really on the 1 or the 024. They're going to continue on, and that's going to be with less than 50 laps to go here tonight, boys. So we've seen some crazy things go on. We got the points leader up front currently with Ashton Tucker, but anything can happen here at Oxford Plains.
We were talking about Ryan Twinham on pit road and what the crew chief and them were talking about, but he is now checked out, 15 laps down. They're still talking about their Tinder date from last night, whether they swiped left or right.
I slid left there, but she's a Leafs fan.
Don't tell me you're a Montreal fan.
Oh, God, no. I was rooting for the Leafs last night.
It would have made sense with your fanny pack and everything.
Whoa, what are you talking about, man? The NASCAR the NASCAR fanny packs are packing better than ever.
I seen your Facebook this week. That was pretty funny.
Oh, I'm telling you, people on NASCAR on the internet, they're finding them on eBay and buying them and wearing them at the track.
The Kodak fanny pack.
The Valvoline fanny pack, Kellogg's fanny pack. Shove your cereal in there and a couple beers too.
Gotta have a fanny pack. Should be a thing called a beer pack, which takes a 12-pack around your waist.
Patent pending. Put the patent on that.
With ice.
Of course. Gotta have ice in there. Gotta be nice and cool. And it's gotta come with a koozie as well. But first, we gotta get back to racing before we get to the patent office. And we can see a couple of cars flickering on track, including the number 42 of Williams, as Ashton Tucker grabs the lead, and he is off to the races. Pun intended. He is well in front here in this race. Ooh, looks like the 42 Williams, a little crooked, going into turn number 3, slid into the number 17 of Brad Hayes, and it's pretty stacked up further on back.
Well, let's check in on Brad Hayes and Rational Richard Drake. They are still on the outside, and that's a no-no. Hayes still stuck to the outside, and that line of freight train goes all the way to the back. This could be a huge upset for the Laker News 141, as he is going to be trying to get to the bottom. But Tan Woolridge, the 78, John Fitzpatrick, and all of them are bumper to bumper. It is 5 o'clock traffic, and the 141 is in rush hour.
Yeah, it's like traffic at the Bronx right now. There's a lot of roughhousing here. Cars slamming into each other like it's the county fair bumper ride at the fair, man. It's going to get real intense for any driver trying to make the top 12 to get a little payout here in the TCM Weekly Racing Series.
Well, he finally did settle in. No road tucks in behind John Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick also one of those guys that is going to be a front runner here, hopefully. Him and Tan Woolridge got the same set of tires, 34 laps to go. Watt will be in row number 4, the 7th and 8th position, got the freshest tires. Will they have something for us as we count them down? 35 laps to go. It is championship night, and Ashton Tucker's got all the clean air he wanted.
Woolridge slams into 24. Sorry, Mikey, I saw that coming a mile away. You can see the run that Tanton Woolridge had going into that turn. Gets right in the rear of Goodwin, but Goodwin was able to hang on. Now Goodwin shoved to the outside with Tanton Woolridge and the 78 John Fitzpatrick charging on the bottom.
And someone else that's been sharing the spotlight here tonight, Chris Roma. We're having a peek at him as he finds himself in 11th position. Charging both with pretty good cars here tonight. Will the 83 make it in time? The clock is ticking for these drivers as Oxford is unforgiving with allowing, an opportunity to pass here.
In front, Ashton Tucker's got a sizable lead in front of Craig Tully and Mark Williams. So 2/3 of the top 3 look a little different with 30 laps to go at Oxford Plains. But will any driver have enough time to try and catch up? Oh, look out! Brad Hayes all over the place. Moorcroft made contact, but Hayes saved it. What a save by the 17 car. As you can see, the 56 charging underneath. The 17's going to have his hands full here. He's knocked around like a pinball right now at Oxford.
Well, I thought that was going to be a little bit hairier than going to be, but 56 was into the back of that 17, and the 17 trying to get back into position, but the door was closed. But Rational Richard gets his nose chopped off by the 17 as he tried to tuck in. Oh, that was close for Rational Richard Drake. And checking it out, Rational Richard Drake trying to save the machine here tonight as they all checked up, but we are still green. Unreal, Dylan.
It's Tanton Woolridge. That kid from PEI is charging like a rhino as the caution flag is out. He about batter-ran 3 drivers in a row to shove him up the track, and now he's that much closer to the front with another caution on track.
We're going to need Paul on this one.
We're going to need a couple of Pauls on this one. If caution didn't come out for all that calamity, I don't know what they would even send the caution out for, but we're backing up the Raise Energy Drink instant replay and see if we can find out what went down to put us under the yellow flag. And then we saw a car in the infield area that looks like the Dave Cassidy machine, so it looks like he got he may have had a little bit of help here, boys, and definitely looks like he does. A familiar car that we've seen here, one of the Roma brothers getting into the back of the 13. You can see it coming up here. Basically, the 13 checked up because the one car checked up, and a couple of cars just trying to be in the same spot at the same time doesn't physically actually work, either in the real world or the simulated world here. So tough break for Dave Cassidy. Keeps it in front of the pace car, doesn't hit anything. Gonna have to restart back in the 18th position with 25 laps to go.
kind of a domino effect there with the 57 Corey Hallett trying to drop to the bottom, and they kind of checked up there. And you seen the replay.
We watched it. You can see all the marbles there in turn 3 and 4, Mike. On the bottom too.
Man, a lot of tire wear here, and Ashton Tucker hasn't been aggressive here tonight, so I would say he has something here for the last 24 laps here. But Tam Woolridge charged into the top 4, and he did it gracefully.
Gracefully? Dude was going through there like he was paid to hit every car except for the pace truck.
It was like the Bushwhackers.
Whoa! G'day, mateys.
Australian.
We're going to charge for the field.
You do a horrible Australian accent, by the way.
That was not supposed to be Australian. They're from New Zealand, thank you.
Okay.
Anyways, matey, we're going to restart here with about 22 laps to go. Matey, the pace lights are off, and this is why we got to end the season.
I can't wait to screech you in.
Oh,
we are going green flag, Dylan. Green, 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 green. Ashton Tucker jumps out like a cannonball.
And look, the outside lane is working for young Tanton Woolridge. Now we get we're going to see the battering ram, nickname now, battering ram Tanton Woolridge. He is now behind Craig Tully. Craig's got older tires. Watch out for the 56 cars. He's on the bottom. That's a preferred lane with 21 laps to go.
I've seen a lot of races here at Oxford, and you are right, man. Look at the marble and the tires tread here at Oxford here. This could be a factor where you might see that mid-line. I've never seen the mid but there is a lot of grip right now with 20 to go. Ashton Tucker is where he wanted to be all night. Lots of clean air, but Tanton Woolridge is coming up like an F-18 fighter jet.
Trying to find a position and a spot on the track to make the move to get around the 5 car. You got to be careful because every time you do make contact with another car, that adds more incident points to your cap. And if you get too much, you're done for the night. Definitely not. I'll tell you, the Tanton's definitely not going for the Clean Hands Award. He's going for the big win tonight.
He's doing the Dale Senior Award here. There is 40 incident point cap here tonight, so hopefully he doesn't hit that. But he is all over the back bumper of Tully. The 5 machine has a handful as Woolridge now drops to the bottom. And I think Tully just said, you know what, it's not worth it. I had a good run, and he's going to let Woolridge go here and try to capitalize and see what happens in front of him. He is still in a great position. With 16 to go, Tully will let the 56 go. Now setting sights on our champion, the lose here tonight. Ashton Tucker needs 15 laps of clean air, and he's got it wrapped for 2021.
Ashton Tucker will have to hold off a younger driver. It's the Young Gun show, and you can see Tanton Woolridge. He is charging like a bull right out of the gates. He is fast. He is one fast kid from the island, catching up to a young New Brunswicker. 56, fastest car on the track. Tanton Woolridge is on the move. Now I'm thinking, will Ashton Tucker make this a fight? He's basically got the championship locked up. Heaven forbid they make contact and something happens. How aggressive will the 2 be to block the 56? Fresh tires on the 56. Caution on the track, though. This could make things interesting.
Well, Tanton Woolridge was about 0.2 of a second faster than Ashton Tucker, as he's got fresh tires 59 laps ago. Ashton Tucker with 80 laps. But we'll get back to that after we talk to our friend Paul Strickland. Oh, cat's got his tongue.
Cat's got my tongue, cat scratch fever, all the different things that you could possibly call it. Gonna pull up the Race Energy Drink instant replay here. Take a look from the blimp view and find out what exactly went down. See why we're under caution here once again. But man, really cranking down the laps, and not the best spot to be in. But kind of trying to pull up the replay here and see exactly where we're at. Not seeing anything too tangly. There we see the 157 appears to be out of shape, so take a peek here. John Byron machine looks like he's a lap down as well, so we'll pull this up from the blimp. We'll take a peek at it. Dave Cassidy right behind the 157, and there you can see just kind of shoots him into the quarter panel a little bit, gets on down to the bottom, and it looks like John Byron does a great job saving it, gets it down to the apron, but still going to call the caution here to make sure everybody holds on to the race cars. We don't want to try and take out any of the leaders or anything like that, but going to give us a restart with less than 10 to go. Probably about 8 laps to go here, boys.
Man, Paul, have you ever seen this much marbles here, this much tire on the track?
It's not here at Oxford, no. Let's see if we can change the camera angles a little bit just to see, you know, how much marbles. There's a good shot of it there, all way up top, all the way around the outside, and you'll be able to see on the apron here as well. It's a blackened area, so there are a lot of marbles on the racetrack all the way through, and it pretty much narrows down. There's another really good shot of it. Just really narrows down the racing groove.
Well, we were talking right before that caution, 62 laps on Tam Woolridge tires, 83 laps on Ashton Tucker. Right now, the cleanest tires on the track is John Fitzpatrick in the 6th position on the outside of row number 3. Tam Woolridge on the outside as well in row number 1. Woolridge needs a huge and time this perfect here as lights are out on the pace car. 8 laps to go. Ashton Tucker with the hammer, and he will shoot out like a cannon. And the 56 times it just a little bit, but Tully is on the bottom, and he's got the door shut.
Oh, he's into contact. Yeah, they're sliding like it's a dirt track right now, getting in the marbles. 56 did not need that caution. He is side by side with Craig Tully. Meanwhile, Ashton Tucker is checking out from all the madness, coming up to 5 laps to go in the Highway 311 North River Market 200.
Well, Craig Tully let the 56 go earlier with the banging on the back bumper, and he said, remember me, door shut to the inside, and Woolridge continues to go to the attack on the back of the 5. Woolridge wants this race bad as he tries to get into the rear quarter of the 5, opening the door, but we got wreckage coming into the corner here. The big one has finally happened as they all go way, way back into the outfield.
Caught just the tail end of that, the 78 of John Fitzpatrick involved in that little bit of a mishap. Turns out it's a big mishap. A couple of drivers involved here as well. A little bit of 3-wide action from the Raise Energy Drink Instant Replay. And we'll take a look at it. We'll give it to you live here. And you'll be able to see the 78 rather. 3 wide in the middle, 1 down low, 42 of Mark Williams up high. Makes a little bit of contact, sends those 2 drivers out into the outer field. And man, just everybody really trying to avoid getting hit, so they kind of spread and scattered just a little bit. Luckily, no big hits in this, just a couple of spun cars, so we should be able to continue on. No big deal back here.
Not a bad job navigating through the traffic, but let's talk about one driver that was down a lap not too long ago. Jason Goss in the 41 has found himself in row number 3. What a power move for this guy. Just managed to squeeze by that wreck in front of John Fitzpatrick. Man, 3 laps to go. It's going to be close to a green, white, checkered here as we count down this caution as we still single file them around. But look at all the rubber on the front of the 41 machine, the DC Auto machine out of Torbay, Newfoundland and Labrador. Jason Goss, a.k.a. the fireman, chopping them down here tonight. Wow, that is unreal to make himself up into row number 3.
That car looks like it's had better days, Mikey. That car's hurting.
Dude, got the lucky dog, got his lap back, and now finds himself in the top 6. I'm a little bit biased. I'm from the Rock, and so is he, but hopefully he's got something for us for the final lap. Says they did backtrack the laps here. I believe we are going to be into a green, white, checkered, little bit of possibly into overtime here.
I got a feeling that we are going to get a little OT ski to round out this race. It's been a fun over 200 laps at this point. The Highway 311 North River Market 200. Ashton Tucker, he's in front. If he crosses the start-finish line in first, he wins the whole shebang. Heck, he can finish 12th and win the championship at this rate.
Well, a little extra cash if he takes the 200 tonight. He's got quite a few bucks in his pocket throughout this offseason. Pace lights, or the lights are out on the Pace truck. The official Chevrolet is going to pace him around, hopefully one more time. It's going to be Tully to the outside, but look at that. Tam Woolridge is on the inside of row number 2. Big advantage for the 56. Right up to the back bumper. He's timing it perfectly, and almost with the 24, gives him a scrub to the back, almost sends him out of shape to the infield here. But Woolridge will hang on as Ashton Tucker controls this one as he races to White Silk. Take us home, Dylan.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. What will young Tam Woolridge do? He's on the doorstep of Ashton Tucker. Ashton has the championship locked up at this point, but who's going to win the race? 56 on the bumper of the 2. The winner of the race and your champion will be Ashton Tucker in the number 2 car. He wins the Highway 311 North River Market 200 and the TCM Weekly iRacing Series Championship.
Yabba dabba doo.
Shabba dabba doo. What a race, and man, just what a championship season for this young driver from New Brunswick. Gets her done. Holds off another young driver for another fantastic finish. Didn't lead the most laps tonight, but he led the most important, that final lap, to win the Highway 311 North River Market 200.
As he burns it down in victory here, Ashton Tucker, man on the move. It must be his year, 2020, 2021. We'll look forward to seeing what he has for us in the real racetrack as they head into the 2021 season. But man, he was dominated right from race number 1 and has been an unreal competitor. Tam Woolridge gave him a great run here at the end. Almost got to him on the final corner, but give it up for Tam Woolridge as well.
You can also give him the clean sweep as well. He's going to go for a clean sweep after this, I imagine, too. But a clean sweep, winning the championship, qualifying award, and the Clean's Hand award, I'm sure. Because that was pretty much a spotless race there for young Ashton Tucker.
Let's go bring in our good friend Tim Terry. Tim, take us through tonight. What an awesome run by all competitors.
Yeah, a great run by all of these guys. And as I just caught the end of what Dylan said, Ashton definitely won the Clean Hands Award. Zero incident points tonight. Maybe a couple at the back. No, 0. Actually, he's the only driver with 0 incident points tonight to start the race. So congratulations to Ashton on that too. He's the champion. We're going to sort out everything else in behind. But while we get the two wires together in Littleton to try to piece together his Discord, catch up with Tam Woolridge. He finished in second.
Sure thing. We'll chat with them here. Tam, you got a copy, Mike?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, that was some exciting racing. Watching you tonight, I think you need a new horn on that number 56, buddy. You were going through the field pretty quick. Those fresh tires seem to make a pretty big difference.
Yeah, the fresh tires definitely helped. I knew that with my strategy, with what I planned, I was trying to go an extra 20 laps on the first set, and that would pay off at the end. And we definitely came through. Good. Definitely not the way I wanted to come through. I did have to use the bumper quite a bit, but in the end, it's a championship race. We had to do what we had to do.
How did you feel before this last caution came out? There was one where you're right on the back of the number 2. Caution comes out, then you restart on the outside. You fell back to 4th for a handful of seconds. Did you figure it's all over?
Yeah, I was definitely worried. I think that had it went green, we definitely could have had something for Ashton. I think at the end I was a little bit faster car just with the fresher tires. So I was definitely nervous, and at one point I was trying to go by the 5 on the outside, and I just knew it wasn't going to work. So we just kind of dropped back and waited for our chance, and it almost paid it at the end, but we just weren't quite worth there.
Tan, did you learn anything from doing this weekly racing series that you can apply with other iRacing or maybe even in your real car this year?
Yeah, no, I learned a ton. Just it takes patience. I think that's the biggest thing with Oxford is just patience. So that was definitely one of the biggest things that I learned. I found it was something that I was quite good at before. That was kind of one of my strong suits. It's just there's so much to learn, especially with compared to some of these guys with the amount of experience that they have. I got micro amounts, so it's just the experience that I've been gaining through running all these events, the RBR series, Tim stuff. Just the biggest thing is experience.
So what's on the go for the rest of 21 before the race season starts? More iRacing, or are you going to focus on school a little bit?
Yeah, that's definitely a big question. It's been exam week at school, so it's been tough. I've been writing exams every morning, and I've had 3 league races this week with the RBR series and 2 at Tim's. So I've been trying to keep that even. Obviously, school is the biggest thing right now, so I'm gonna keep working hard in school and trying to get as many of these races in as I can, as I know they're going to transfer to the real track.
Yeah, awesome stuff, buddy. Any family you want to say hey to? Any of your real life sponsors you want to salute as well since you're here?
Yeah, big thanks to McKinnon Bros Service Center. They do a ton. They've been on that bando since day one, I believe. So they're definitely one of the guys that deserve a thanks tonight, as well all the other sponsors. Big thanks to John Fitzpatrick. I mean, if I walk by John Fitzpatrick down in Charlottetown, I wouldn't know who he is, but just through texting, he's helped me out a ton. He's with setup everything. He's done that. Caden Tufts and my family as well.
Awesome. Well, whenever we have another big racing event, I'm sure we'll see you there, Tanton.
Yeah, no, you definitely can expect that. I love running these things, and they're competitive, and I can't wait to get on the track each night.
All right, back to class there, buddy. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Tanton Woolrich, 56 car. What a run from him. He'll expect to see him in the Bandoleros this summer on the island, hopefully, maybe a few times at Petty, maybe even Sydney again. So pretty cool. I think we have our race winner and our champion here in the chat. Tim, connections all connected?
Yeah, I think we have everything connected. Mike James, let's talk to our champion and our race winner tonight, Ashton Tucker.
Ashton, you got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I think so.
What a race, man. You must have been on pins and needles. You knew you had to, did you know you had to have a 12th or better position to win this all?
To be honest, I didn't really know where I had to finish going in, but I knew I just needed to have a good night, maybe top 5 and finish, and that was for sure it, but a win's a good way to secure it for sure.
Well, yourself and Rational Richard were coming up through the pack. You must have been on pins and needles. A few wrecks here tonight, but once you got into the clean air, you started running the laps that you've been running all season long. Take us through tonight and what you were thinking coming in on pit road strategy and how it all feels.
I wanted to get to the pits early because I found the track position was going to be key, but I got to the pits kind of early and the track position helped and locked out and got to the front.
Cool. Any plans now coming up for some more iRacing? You pretty much dominated here at Oxford. There's been some rumors about another seat coming up shortly. Are you going to try to repeat here?
I'm going to try to run it if I can, if everything works out, but hopefully it does and we can see if we can't get the championship in the next season.
Well, you did it with honor here throughout the whole season. I believe Tim has told us that you won the clean hands. Is that something that comes from real life racing? Do you use the bumper now and then, or is it all respect for Ashton Tucker?
I try to keep it clean, but if somebody wants to straight some green, I will. But other than that, I'm going to try to keep it clean and try back people.
Well, a good friend, Joe Chisholm Sr., told me one time, you just can't take the racing out of racing. So. What an awesome run, brother. It's been a pleasure to call for you and here at Vidane TV and TCM. Congratulations on your championship as well as winning the big 200 tonight. Any real life sponsors, family, friends you want to thank here tonight for the big win?
I'd like to thank my buddy there, Roger Downey. When he started working on us up, then we joined practice last night and tweaked on the race setup some, and it proved to be good, and I'd like to thank him for helping me out with that.
Did you sense the 56 machine coming on hard on the last lap there?
Oh yeah, I knew he was going to be quick, and I was expecting him to try to give me a bump, but I think he bumped me, but the car didn't move for some reason, which I was fine with, and managed to hang on.
Great to see some of these young guns come out of the Bandoleros and give you guys a run here. But we look forward to seeing you back on the track in real life as well as in the virtual world. Like I said, from all of us, and I'm sure Tim will say as well, congratulations. Awesome run, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks, Tim, too, for putting the show on. It's great to have him putting up these races.
Well, there you have it, Tim. There's your champion. What an awesome run from Ashton Tucker. The 2 machine was alive all season long through.
Edie was, and Ashton's going to pick up the $20 tonight from Highway 311 North River Market for the win. Clean Hands Award comes with a $10 bonus. The qualifying award comes with a $10 bonus. The championship comes with $125. So it's around 200 and something bucks, I think, can change, give or take, after you carry the ones and everything else that Ashton's going to get tonight. So congratulations to the number 2 car. And we'll tabulate the points, get everything else up on the website. You can visit that at timscorner.ca. We may or may not have something coming up on Saturday. We still have to double check and confirm with everything. But congratulations to everybody that raced tonight. Thank you to all the drivers that did so. Our next one of these series is going to be at Nashville coming up in, I believe, 3 or 4 weeks' time. If you're interested in signing up, check the website probably next week for all that information. But that's going to do it, because Paul is getting ready to hit the jet. And I don't know where you're headed, Paul. Is it Martinsville?
Heading out to Martinsville, yeah. So quick little flight here. We got about 4 or 5 minutes left in qualifying for the Showtime Cup Series. They're going to be coming up next year on Vidane TV, and they're about halfway through their season, so really looking forward to a good show here. The Cup Cars at Martinsville. So don't go anywhere. If you want to watch some racing, check it out here on Vidane TV. Catch you guys on the flip side. Fantastic running for all the drivers. Thank everybody for from Tim's Corner Motorsports, Mikey, Dylan, Jesse, everybody that's come out. Kyle Young's come out and done a couple of races here with us. Very good little season. Looking forward to the next one. We'll have all the details on the Vidane TV and the Tim's Corner Motorsports Facebook pages. But going to jump on this jet, fly out to Martin.